Jamaica, one of the main reasons why I left is actually the crime rate. Like, going to school, you're afraid to take a taxi because you're afraid them take you away, and all you can do is hashtag Amanda Dean. There's nothing else that's going to come out of it. Secondly, in terms of crime rate, another big the government agreed for these companies, these foreign companies that want to come in Jamaica and employ Jamaica population for the entry-level jobs, because I hardly ever see a managerial or supervisor or a director or you know, you're depend on the board of the company. Them I hardly ever see that. The government agreed for them to pay us £32 a week. £32 a week. In the UK, we probably spend about £15 to £20 a week on grocery shopping alone, right? Obviously, the UK is a first world country, so you have to give and take. Jamaica has a much cheaper quality of life compared to the UK. My good God, man. Just try imagine living on £32 a week time, and you have penny for feed, and you're supposed to pay transportation, and you're boy, every day I make me heated. You know, sometimes you have to just stop talk when you see which part things are go. And some feel bored every day. Like, I would genuinely love to know how someone actually budgets their call center monthly pay. Like, the people that I know that work at call center, they live from paycheck to paycheck. Like, if something go wrong, them have to do without. Like, there is no emergency fund, there is no thinking of owning a home one day, there is no dreams, there is no hope. Like, literally the plane crashed with the hopes. Sure. Gone. Like, I would really love to see Jamaica raise the minimum wage, or even if we don't raise the minimum wage, keep the living wage one place. Come in and know how JPS forget the go ahead for raise them price in this 2021 after we know one pandemic and people are suffer. How them fear raise the price for we? Anyways, I don't look at something why I left Jamaica, because I bear inequality I going down there. So we have a real big issue with human rights. Like, what about we don't have good pay leave or sick pay unless you're in a government building. Like, if my friends are sick from work, they don't get paid, they don't have sick pay. Maternity leave is a myth, sick days are a myth, special leave is a myth. Like, there's just a lot of stuff that I have had the privilege to experience here in the UK that in Jamaica it literally just doesn't exist, or it only exists to the elites in the system, to the elites or to the upper class. Because Jamaica is a classist place. Whether we want to accept it or not, Jamaica run on classism. Like, classism and colorism. Best friends in Jamaica. Best friends. And homosexuality, best friend in Jamaica. Let me give you some more reasons, because I feel like I've been waffling a lot in this video. Another reason why I left Jamaica is because, one, I grew up in a Christian, well, not for my entire life, but for my early childhood, I grew up in a Christian home. So my grandma grew me in a Christian home, and my grandma was never really judgy, but the Christian them in a Jamaica, when them ready for judge it, is not nothing normal. The thing is also, Jamaica is a very judgmental place, and we love to hide it under the disguise of Christianity, but Christianity teaches to love everyone and to love all. So if we are going to outcast certain peoples in the system, like in Jamaica society, then we need to do it holistically and right across the border. We cannot outcast some people and then certain people just because you come from a certain family, you're in stop talking a code. We need to stop discriminating against same-sex couples in Jamaica. I actually did, I'm just going into some of the inequalities now, sorry, just carry on if you followed me. I actually did a project in college. It's called the EPQ, and I had to look at the homosexuality in Jamaica, and sadly there actually isn't a lot of research, like actual scientific research into it, but my findings were actually that Jamaica is one of the most homophobic places on this earth. And it's not funny, I know that it affects some of us more than others because we have families, we have relatives, we have friends that decide that they want to have a same-sex relationship, or they want to be queer and just live out loud. Jamaica, literally, like at the time when I was reading it, like literally in the laws it says that it is illegal to actually have same-sex, like having sex between a male and a male is literally illegal in Jamaica. Like it's in the law that it's illegal. Obviously I did that project 4-5 years ago, so I don't know if those laws still stand, but at that point in time it kind of just already confirmed the way how I felt about the nation as a whole, as to how judgmental we can be. And when I say judgmental, we don't only judge same-sex people or gay people for that matter. We don't only judge them, we judge teenage girls that get pregnant. Like we keep them out of school and we treat them like them are nothing, and we act like say the man never breed them or them breed themselves. You know, no one holds anyone accountable but the actual victim in the situation. We also judge people that want to get abortions. At the moment, Jamaica has a law that basically shows that abortions are illegal. It's a joke to me. Like personally, I feel like everybody should have the full right and ownership over their own bodies. I don't feel like the government should be an agent to decide what I do with my unborn child, because when the child hungry, you don't have benefits to benefit that child. Second of all, the schooling system is absolutely poor. We don't get free uniforms, we don't get any support for that matter. Thirdly, we are shamed and looked down upon. If I was to say that I had a young child in Jamaica, whether you say it in a party, in church, in your family, like you're just looked down on, like, you know, like, yeah, them judge you bad. Who else them judge done there? We also have a real big issue with the way we take with how seriously we take people's mental health. I mean, just mental health as a whole, I don't feel like it's recognized in the simplest form in Jamaica. We laugh when people are mad, and mental health to us, it doesn't exist. Like, it literally doesn't exist. I have literally told my family about anxiety, like what it means. I've told them about what depression means. I've tried to explain it to them, and the older generation, 50+, they literally tell me that it's not real. Like, it's just a word with doctor make up. Anxiety not real, depression not real. Like, that's how my Jamaican family sees it, and I can only imagine what the other households sees it as. So these are just some of the reasons as to why I had to get my ass out of that country. I mean, when I was there, like, constantly seeing people living in gully, and the way how them normally just kill the game and them are not no come out of it, like, it literally did something to my mental health. Like, I just always had a special place in my heart for them outcast people, you know. When them kick out the teenager pregnant girl them, I feel it. I'm not lie, like, me growing up, I feel like, say, I think when I did pass, I think when I was about 18, I literally found myself like rejoicing that I'm not pregnant. Like, thank God I'm not pregnant, because everybody that comes from where I'm from, like by 21 you have a baby. That's just how we live. You see me? Like, them getting pregnant for a man is normally the only way them see themselves I come out of the ghetto sometime. They get pregnant for a local big man, and it's sad to say, you know, we're in a position where that's how we have to think of ourselves, you know. Like, that's the only option you have, because the government don't care, your family have you as an outcast and outshun you, and the country itself is just in a crazy state. Like, I remember, I'm just reflecting back on when I was actually in the island, like, some of the final stroke for me that really made me want to leave was the fact that I feel like as Jamaican people, like, we really suffer from PTSD, that's post-traumatic stress disorder, and we don't even know it, because now, like, when I just came to the UK and Mr. Car tint up and police now at the car, and like, you were just allowed to do whatever you wanted to, and it wasn't a big thing. Like, I was just shook out of it. And to be completely honest, like, that's something normal, but I guess in Jamaica, like, schoolgirls, if you're in a bus with tint up, you already know the stress. You already know how people are gonna perceive you when you come out of the bus. If you are going to a bus like that at night time, you know you're not going on a taxi. If it tints up or it look too dark or the man look away, like, we just literally traumatized as a nation because of the constant high crime rates and constant deaths. Like in a Jamaica, like people just a drop like fly. And from me live a Jamaica, I'd say so, and people still a drop like fly now. And I don't see the government coming up with anything, like any strategy that is really here to tackle the crimes. And it make me really think if them are the criminal themselves, like, because why this still happen 5 years later? Like we literally have one of the highest crime rate in the world, and we're one of the smallest countries in the world. Like, that's sickening. Like, I'm not proud to say I'm a Jamaican because of that. Do you get what I mean? Like, that's nothing to brag and boast about, like the crime. And then the next mistake thing is the government trying to blame the crime on dancehall. Like, no sir, like the crime is in Jamaica because we don't have opportunities. So the people are hungry and just out there take it for themselves. There is no resources. The government don't go to the inner cities and, you know, help out the youths them. Like I say, we don't have no apprenticeship other than art, and university we don't have no other option. Art, university, call center, and them they're the option for Jamaica young people right now, and it's depressing. So I really feel it for my friends back home that struggle with these issues that I'm talking about. But I honestly don't have all of the answer them, but do I look a red lip? That was nice. I look a red lip. Yeah, I'm gonna look a red lip. I'm trying out this this is nice. I'm trying out Ruby Who by MAC. This is my first time wearing it, but this is the color for the black girls. And then lay them. Lay. Look, you can see. I love this look. This is such a cute look.